start with the prayer. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances, and we will get started with a small prayer. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. We can raise our hands and we can chant loudly Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim Yatkrupatamahamvande vande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. You can repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayo Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama Namo Pankajanaabhaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Panchangire. Hare Krishna. I offer my pranams to everyone. My parents are also here. So please accept my humble obeisances, and let us start by offering our humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada and all our Guru Varga Acharyas, so that whatever we hear, whatever we discuss now is purifying to all of us. Hare Krishna. I hope everyone is doing well. For those who will hear this videos also, this particular today's topic is on a very, very current topic that's going on, and I've been hearing about this all around. So I know many times some of the devotees have come back and asked me that they're being asked. Many people ask that, okay, hey, why are you so serious at this age? Why this temple and all these things? Like, why do you have to do this thing? Okay, so if you look at it, okay, generally when the age is young, we try to neglect the real problems of life. What are those real problems? They are birth, death, old age, and disease. We discussed this in the past. So just let's take an example. When sufferings, when they come in the young age, people tend to deny it. So if there is a disease, it's just like, okay, hey, what is in there? No big deal. Just take a pill. Then sometimes like, people tend to oppose a problem. So there are people who say that, okay, hey, there is no suffering. How can we understand that? Like, okay, so if when there's corona, what is there? Just wear a mask. Okay, you don't need to be worried about that. So in general, if you see, man thinks that we'll figure out a solution, and then there is a third pattern. Like we see generally, like, okay, we adjust to the suffering. If there is a fracture, then we go to the doctor. He puts a plaster. Like, okay, there's a mold in there, and then we adjust to that. So in general, if you see, like, okay, we try to find some or the other workaround, like, okay, to move along with the problem. So now let's take a scenario. Like, let's say if a boy gets a good marks in the exam, like, we all have been children, like, okay, so if one gets good marks in the exam, then that boy starts jumping like a monkey. Again, if the boy gets poor marks, then he's morose, like, very sad, like, depressed. When we grow up, like, okay, we get a good job, then we show, okay, hey, I got job in so and so company. Nowadays in India, like, okay, there are companies, like, okay, which give placement, like, okay, oh, after your placement starts in 18 months. What does it mean? That means the company is not sure, like, depending on the current trends, they will be placed on after 18 months. So um, so if someone is not getting immediately placed, then they are in the bewildered, confused condition. But if someone is not placed or they are getting laid off, then absolutely there is no hope. Then every time, like, if you talk to the relatives or someone, like, or your friends, like, okay, Are, uska kuch hua? Anything, any update on the job? Then there is tension. What is happening? So if you, these days, if you look at it, there is another problem that is coming up in the job market. There is this artificial intelligence, AI. Just take an example in airports. If you see, like, okay, airport, we may observe, like, there is a lot of manpower reduction going on. Like, okay, there is artificial. You see this check-in process. There are a lot of there are a lot of um, computers that are put in there so that people can do their e-check-in there. And similarly, at many stores, you will see there are a lot of e-check-in, like grocery stores, things like that. So there is, so if you see that the trend is that they want to reduce the manpower. So if you look back, like, okay, 50, 100 years back, like, okay, in earlier days, like, generally people would stay in villages. Generally 500 to 1000 people would stay in villages. I have my parents there, like, okay, my father, I knew at his early age, like, okay, he grew up, like, okay, in a village. So, and in those days there was no WhatsApp. If there is an event, the whole village will come for the event. If there is a marriage, the entire village will come. They'll have small temple. Okay, if there are in evening, in morning, they will come and do their puja and other stuff. And if you look at, like, the neighborhood village also, there were no or minimal interactions, because in those days the communication were not that advanced. Like, okay, um, there were like they had like buses or so, like, okay, or maybe if we go back, like, okay, in time, like, okay, there were bullock carts or things like that. So generally the nearest neighboring village also will be like 4-5 hours. Okay. So not much interaction and not much news from around. It was a peaceful life. Okay, that was That was what it was early. And now if you see, now everyone is like running around. Okay, they are always like, okay, in earlier days, if you see, like, okay, like the varnashram system, the brahmanas, they'll be engaged in doing the pujari services in temple. Then the kshatriyas, they are doing administrative activities. Like, okay, vaishyas, they'll be doing the mercantile activities, protection of the cows, okay, other animals. And then like shudras, they'll be whatever, like, okay, cleaning activities, this that, like, okay, oh, come do this labor job, like, okay, lift this thing, so they will be there. But nowadays if you see, it's just the it's if there are big jobs, salaries are fat. Okay, and then there is, if a person is laid off also, if there is, companies are, as they're checking, like, okay, oh, where can I reduce cost? Okay, that is, lay this off, like, okay, this person off. Imagine, like, okay, like when someone who is on a fat salary, when they're asked to leave the job, would you agree there is tension or not? What do you think?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. So there is,
Not even with that salary, there would be a tension, right?
yeah. So there is tension, but let's say, like, okay, if you um, uh, like if you look at it from earlier days, like I have seen in the same village that I used to go, like, okay, there were people, like, who are involved in very simple activities, like, okay, there'll be a person who will be engaged in doing the pottery. His main skill is like pottery doing only. All that he knows is that making that earthen pot. So he will be doing that, and whatever he earns, he will be happy with that. Okay. And then someone, like, who has to, we had coconut trees in our village house, so there'll be person who will come and he will take the coconut. All that he knows is getting up on the tree and getting the coconut. He may earn very minimally, but with that he sustains, like, okay. I'm talking about in my childhood, like, at that time the expectations were less, not big expectation. They had easy money through this whatever they knew, and that's all, they were happy. But nowadays if you see, like, okay, there are big expectations. Okay, there is big, there are big trains, there are fast trains actually. Then people are just running around, like, with suitcase here and there, like, okay. If you see, like, there are many people who are traveling around, like, okay, oh, what do you do? I'm in a consulting job, like, okay, I just travel here and there, like, okay, all the time, like, okay. It's just like that. Okay. Now now apart from that, like, okay, in that, like, okay, and as I interact with people who are at CXO levels, like, okay, they're very, very scared actually, because they have to always prove that, okay, the company is trending in the right direction, like, upwards always. Okay, and if there is a slight nudge there, like, okay, oh, their job is at stake. So, and it is a loss of self-esteem. There is fear, depression, like, okay, all about it. So, and if you ask them, okay, hey, what job you're doing? Like, I know in I know in Gujarat, like, many people, like, okay, and I grew up there. So many people would ask, like, okay, hey, you just know a person. So first question is, what is your name? And next question is, you have met him first time. Like, they will say, how much do you earn? So so I used to tell them, okay, hey, never ask a girl about her age and a boy about the job. You don't know, you don't know what would be going on internally. So why I'm saying this is because if you see, in if you if you just try to analyze this society has laid terms for people to validate that if you are an intelligent person, okay, what kind of job you have, like, to parameterize, like, okay, where do you fit in the scale? Okay, are you an intelligent person? So to classify you as an intelligent person, you have to show off. That is the terms of the society. Okay, so making a lot of money, big bank balance, okay, that's there. Then there is social media. Okay, this is where, like, if you see that current trend is, like, okay, oh, I went here, I am checking out at Taj. Okay, I, I have been to this place. Okay, I'm doing this thing. Okay, so this this is are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Instagram? and like I remember like, okay, um, l- this is some time back like, okay, more than a decade back like, okay, one person asked me um, that do you uh, do you consume alcohol? And I said no. He said, then his comment was, oh, he's not even in the human race actually. So this is why I'm saying this is that this is society has laid norms to consider whether we are an important or a useless man. Okay, these are the norms, and everyone is struggling to prove to the world that I am also important. Okay, everyone is competing in that parameters. Like, okay, oh, he has a Facebook account. Oh, they went there. Like, okay, next time you see that, okay, someone from the family is saying, okay, they went there. We have to also prove ourselves by going there. We should also take a picture there. Okay, so this this is this causes another kind of tension. uh, so so then you have to be in a job where you cannot be laid off. No, so that is the thing. So it's a very situation is never safe, and it's a very deadly situation actually in the modern times. Now the most amazing thing amidst all this is in this moment of emergency also people are stuck in complacency. So so let's take for example like, okay, so every moment the world is creating a lot of fear and anxiety. You will see, I still remember like, okay, um, that in my childhood days and in Bhavnagar there used to be a doctor like, okay, and most of us like, okay, I mean like we would go to him if we have some fever or something like, okay, and he would be like, okay, check. He has the same process like, okay, he has the stethoscope. Okay, he will check like, okay, oh, viral. Okay, give him that medicine. Okay, and my mother knows which doctor I'm talking about. Okay, and you if you it is whether it's viral or whether it's dysentery, this that like, he has a he will use a stethoscope. He will say, okay, he will understand, okay, what is going on. Even till today's date we just call him and we tell him that, okay, these are the symptoms, what do we take? He will give us the medicine. Even we may not be in town also, he knows this is the pattern. Okay, and that works also. But now let's take like, okay, what is the modern trend actually? See, modern trend is you go to a hospital, there is a long queue. Like especially in US, if you go to a hospital, even in India actually, there is a long queue. There are a lot of protocols on us to follow. Okay, it's not easy. Like you have to go to CT scan, X-ray, like go and check your weight, this cholesterol, that thing, diabetes. Okay, so many checks you have to do, and after that, once you get the bill, the person will die on the spot only. So so there was one friend of mine, he told me that, okay, he was sick for some time, and then when he came back like, okay, we asked him like, okay, hey, what happened? He said, actually, see, um, I was sick, but it was not much like, okay, when I went to the doctor, the bill made me more sick actually, because I was in an emergency. Okay, so and even if you see like, okay, many times like, okay, you might see there are billboards all around like, okay, in India I've seen like, okay, there's a lot of people have this lot of fear psychology like, okay, oh, you are between 30 to 40, you should do this test. Okay, there are billboards advertising that 40 to 50 do that test like, okay, if and it's like hospitals things like, okay, you're not getting so many people in US like, okay, I've seen that, okay, people come back and tell that, okay, oh, you have reached this, your family has this history, you have to do this test like, okay, okay, and although like, okay, you have to get this vaccine like, okay, okay, I remember for COVID like, okay, one of like one of the doctors like, they was saying you have to get COVID vaccine. I said, okay, but I see that, okay, it's still being tested actually, it's not really it was just tested in such a short period. No, everyone is getting, you have to get it. So I asked one doctor once, like, okay, so do you guarantee that, okay, once if one takes this vaccine, they will not be sick? No, that we cannot guarantee. Uh, then what is so basically it's if you see there is a lot of fear psychology. So people are power hungry, job situation is very vulnerable, and nowadays, like, okay, if you ask about this recession, like, people are very uh, it's a very vulnerable situation actually. So many people, they also want to stop this artificial intelligence field, but now you have to look at it that they are being funded by the top guys. So and their purpose is that the cost has to be brought down. So if you see, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. So that is that is something, that is a pattern. So this thing, if you see, this is not a very surprising thing, because what is the age that we are in? Does anyone know which age we are in? We are in Kali Yuga. This is the age of Kali. Okay. And in Kali, this is very, very common. Okay. This is something that has been predicted. So now I want to read one passage actually, and I want someone to read this actually. Can we have someone to volunteer for this? Like, I'll also read, and I want someone else also to read. Does anyone want to read this?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Okay. So then let me go ahead and share my screen. So this is, just hear this very carefully. So is my screen visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I'll read the Srila Prabhupada's part, and you can read the Allen Ginsberg's part. Okay. So this topic is the end of Kali Yuga. Okay. So this happened in 1969. Okay. So Srila Prabhupada is saying Lord Buddha is accepted as an incarnation of Krishna. So this is a conversation that is going on between Srila Prabhupada and Allen Ginsberg. So Lord Buddha is accepted as an incarnation of Krishna. This is stated in the Bhagavatam. He is accepted as the ninth incarnation. Baladev is the eighth, and 10th is awaiting.
Uh, Kalki.
Yeah,
You have
Kalki.
to repeat.
So
Yeah,
Allen
Kalki,
Ginsberg
sorry.
says Kalki. Srila Prabhupada says
Kalki.
Kalki.
Now, what is Kalki's nature?
Okay, this is described in the Bhagavatam. He will come just like a prince with royal dress and sword, on horseback, simply killing, no preaching. There'll be no brain to understand God.
There will be no brains to understand God.
People will be dull. It requires a brain to understand.
So Kalki come at the end of Kali Yuga,
Yes, then Satyuga will begin.
which is,
Satyuga is the pious age. People will be pious, truthful, long living.
are those the people that will remain, or are they from whatever new creation come out of the destruction?
All the miscreants will be killed, and there must be some pious. They remain.
Do you think of this in terms of historical event that will occur in the lifetime of our disciples?
No, this will happen at least 400,000 years from now. So at that time, my disciples will be with Krishna.
Hari Bol.
And those who will not follow them, they will see the fun, how they are being killed.
Will people still be chanting Hare Krishna in 400,000 years?
No, Hare Krishna will be finished within 10,000 years. There will be no more Hare Krishna.
So what will be left
Nothing. I will kill you and eat you, and you shall kill me. You shall eat me. That will be left.
after 10,000 years?
Yes, there will be no grain, no milk, no sugar, no fruit. So I will have to eat you, and you will have to eat me. Full facility for meat eating. Full facility. Krishna is very kind. He will give you facility. All right. Which cows and calves? You take your own son. Yes. Eat nicely, just like serpents. Snakes, they eat their own offsprings. Also tigers. So this will happen. And there will be no brain to understand God. No preachers. Nothing. And then Krishna will come. All right. Let me kill you so that you will be saved.
But you see, it it as actually a historical thing of 10,000 years for the chanting
Now it will increase
until,
up to 10,000 years,
and then,
then diminish.
so what is the purpose right now?
People will take advantage of this up to 10,000 years. Then they will,
So this is like the last rope, the last gas.
yes. So the sooner we take shelter of Krishna consciousness, the better.
Uh, when did this yuga begin?
Kali Yuga began 5,000 years ago.
Where is all this information? Where is all this information?
In the Vedic literature, the Bhagavatam.
It has the detailed analysis of what goes on in the Kali Yuga.
Oh, yes, I will read it to you sometime. In the 12th canto, the Kali Yuga descriptions are there. And you will find that all the descriptions are coming true. Just like there is one statement, Shvikara eva udvahe, marriage will be performed simply by agreement. Now that is being done. And Lavanyam Kesha Dharanam, people will think that they have become very beautiful by keeping long hair. That is coming true.
In the Bhagavata Purana, is there also provision for Chaitanya cult?
Oh, yes, we have given that in our book, Teachings of Lord Chaitanya.
Within this period of 10,000 years, only those who hear Krishna's name and worship Krishna by chanting,
They become liberated and go back home, back to Godhead.
and everybody else gets involved deeper and deeper in the yuga.
Yes, yes. So if anyone believes in the Shastras or scriptures, he should take to this Krishna consciousness. That is intelligence to take advantage of the authorized scriptures. Hare Krishna. So that was a conversation between Srila Prabhupada and Allen Ginsberg. So if you see, Srila Prabhupada is saying this movement is for 10,000 years. Okay. So of that, about this is Mahaprabhu had forecasted this, that this movement will last for 10,000 years. Srila Prabhupada said that, like, okay, about, so since Mahaprabhu's time, 500 years have passed, 9,500 years are left. Okay. And it is, it is something like, okay, it'll, now it'll expand very, very nicely for the next 5,000 years. And then slowly it will be in a steady state. And then when it comes to 10,000, it will diminish. And then it will not be there. If you see, right now, if you see, ISKCON or this Krishna consciousness movement is expanding very fast. There is so much, there is so many devotees who are coming, like, okay, in India, if you see, and even in US, there are so many devotees that are coming. And when Srila Prabhupada was there in the planet 50 years back, he established 108 temples. Right now, it is 1,000 temples are almost there in the planet. So in the last 50 years, there are, uh, the mission has grown like 10 times actually. So which is a very wonderful growth. And Prabhupada said, Srila Prabhupada said that when my disciples and when my grand disciples they come, they will take this mission to every nook and corner. Okay, so Right now, if you see, that time has come. Now, if you look at what Prabhupada was saying, like, okay, um, many people may think that, okay, so what is there so much urgency about this thing, right? Like, okay, what is really so urgent about this? So if you see, in some of the parts of the world, um, slowly it is getting so bad. You cannot practice, like, okay, uh, your own spiritual practices. So if there are uh, in s- in some of the places, even in today's world, it so happens that, okay, if someone is practicing their own spiritual practices and if they do it in group, then they give them acid bath. They take their body and dip it in acid. Okay, when you bring it out, like only skeleton is left. So it's terrible actually. Now, uh, we know that, okay, there are many wars that were fought by Russia. Like, okay, in some of these wars, like, okay, the Russian tankers, they would go to the city and they would try to they would have this uh, uh, when they take this tankers, they blow everything that they see. So what people will do is people will go into those underground bunkers and they would live there. And how much time can they live there? Like, okay, after some time, when they are living there, they have to uh, they need food, right? And they have to come out actually at some point of time. So when they come out, then they are short there. See, food and water are very essential. Sometimes, like, in emergency, person may pass stool at some corner of the room also. Okay, but food and water are very, very essential. They can't live without food and water. So in so if you see within this world itself, one country is posing a danger for another. Okay, as now these are happening in some nooks and corners of the world, but as the Kali Yuga becomes ripe, more and more such things will happen. There'll be more the social groups like religious riots, social wars, rich and poor difference, like, okay, all these things, they will rampantly start. So in US, I remember, like, okay, in in one of the locations, like, okay, southern locations, and uh, there are these jobs were being shifted to China. So there were a lot of Afro Americans, like, who were working there, and they lost all the jobs. So because of that, what happened? They started they became very violent there, and slowly they started stealing. And then when the stealing became very rampant, then they were caught also. And after getting caught, they got guns and they would loot the property of the people. If and sometimes, like, okay, two or three people of such type, they will go together, and what can you do? Like, okay, they will come into the apartment, they will steal the laptop, smartphone, and other things, like, okay. And once they steal, once they sell those things, then they can survive. So if you see, these are already happening right now. uh, in 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 the current world, these are already happening. I remember, like, okay, I stayed in during the last recession, before the last recession, which was in 2009. Just prior to that, I was staying in Charlotte. So at that time, Charlotte was very much known for its crime. And I could see in the evening, I would stay in an apartment, and daily, like, evening when we would go for a walk, I could see people who were stealing actually. Okay, but there was nothing we could do because we couldn't inform anyone because they had guns actually with them, and we were just merely walking there. So, and they would steal vehicles, they would steal from the apartments, they would steal young kids actually, young infants actually. So it was a terrible condition actually. And then uh, they would the cops would come and they would train us that, okay, if you are being uh, if uh, if you are being carjacked, then in that case, what do you do in that situation to save your life? forget your car. Okay. Yeah, what do you do to save your life? So that was the situation in this, that is the situation in this current world only. So you can imagine this is still in the golden period, like, okay, of where people can take shelter of Krishna. Okay, what do we, what is going to happen as the Kali Yuga ripens? Because these are the things that are happening right now. I want to share s- one thing that I heard from my spiritual master, His Holiness Param Pujya Radhanath Swami Maharaj. So Maharaj ji shares that he had been to, um, he was sitting by the Ganges actually. I think, if I'm not wrong, this is in Varanasi. So once it was a very sunny afternoon, he was sitting in the uh, near the on the banks of the Ganges, and then he was saying that there is a hawk. It's like a vulture actually. So that was circling around actually, and he could feel that the hawk was so like it was constantly circling around as if like it was looking at Maharaj only. So Maharaj didn't know what to do here. Like, okay, he just kept his prayers and he was just praying. Like, okay, what is this hawk going to do? Because see, generally these vultures are pretty big actually, and they can be very dangerous also. So as the hawk kept circling, suddenly it came down in the water and it got into the water, and then in no time it just picked a fish, and it was taking one fish. Okay, the fish was about 1 foot long, okay, or somewhere around that size. And as the fish, and it was very close to where Maharaj was. Okay, so as the fish was being taken away, Maharaj got a chance. As he was looking, he saw the eyes of that fish as the yellow-eyed hawk was taking it away. He saw the innocent eyes of the fish, very, very like bewildered, confused, like, okay, what is happening actually? Because not knowing that, okay, it is in that particular state. And the hawk just moved away in some time it became invisible. So for those of you who have read the book The Journey Home, like, okay, this is a story from there, but Maharaj has this, like anything that he observes in the life, he tries to introspect. So he was trying to understand from there, like, okay, what can I learn from this? So he gives very wonderful analogy from there. He says that, okay, see this fish, if you see, this fish would have uh, been in on its day-to-day activity. Okay, it must have just set out, like, okay, going with its family, with its kids, right? Like, okay, just traveling around, like, okay, just like any other day, like, okay, it's just going doing about its activity. And just at the most unexpected moment, at that time, the hawk comes and it picks it up and takes it away. And that, and it is not even, it's completely bewildered actually what is happening. So many times, like, okay, we are also doing lot of stuffs, like, okay, we are doing a lot of things thinking that this is a priority, we have to do list, this that, like, okay, but amidst all these things, like, okay, I mean, we have so many projects to do this that, like, okay, but what is the, are we prioritizing our things right? So are are we taking our spiritual life very, very seriously? Because the the things that we do in this life, okay, if we are taking care of family, we definitely have to take care of our family. We have to take care of our job to maintain our family. We have to take care of our health. But these things are not going to go with us. What is really going to go back with us is any spiritual bhakti credit that we have, that goes with us. The impressions of karma, they go with us. Okay, if there is any karma that is left. So, and at every point of time, we are in this fear of this unknown thing. And obviously, okay, there is like, do we know when that red eye, when that yellow-eyed hawk is going to come for us? We don't know. So then Maharaj gives one very another different analogy. He says that, okay, this fish, if this fish was going, like it was sailing above in the water, right? Like, okay, in the, and the hawk was keeping an eye on, like, as soon as for the earliest opportunity when any fish is visible. But if the fish would have been swimming deep inside the ocean, then would the hawk be able to find it? The hawk will not be able to find it. So similarly, like in our spiritual practice also, if we go deeper into into our bhakti, if we remain absorbed in Krishna consciousness, then the turbulences of this world cannot shake us, no matter whatever situation we are in. We we would not be shaken at any point of time. And if you, if we are there in the top, like, okay, if we are just there is a specific word for there. I'm just trying to think of it. If we are shallow in our spiritual practices, then we'll be shaken. In, like, our mind will be completely disturbed in the slightest of the disbalance. So that was I felt it was a very wonderful analogy. And then I was just thinking that, okay, His Grace Amarendra Prabhu gives a very wonderful example actually. He says, if you go to these beaches this day in India, what do you find, like in the, like what do you find if you are just near the shore, right? What do you find? You get these plastics and all those other things, junk things, like which others have thrown. All the garbage will come to you. But think about it. If we are swimming deep inside the ocean, will you get any of this? You will not get any of this. You will not get. Okay, so it is very, very essential that, okay, we take our spiritual practices very, very seriously, very, very sincerely. And what is that sincerely? We understand that, okay, the chanting of the Mahamantra is very, very essential so that we can purify our heart. If we look at it, like, okay, what happens is, if we take the human psychology, what happens is once the child is born, they get family, they get friends, they get news. See, think about it. Once the child is born, there are a lot of identities that the child gets. The child, as soon as the child is born, he gets family. Okay, he gets a family identity. As the child starts growing up, he gets friends. He knows that, okay, he's from this particular town. He has that identity. He knows he's from this particular state, that identity. This particular language, this particular nation, that identity. Okay. Then as the child moves further, he goes to this particular school. Oh, I am so and so. I am from DPS, right? Right? Or I am from this so and so convent school. Okay. So that identity. Then as the child goes to a college, oh, I studied in so and so college. I am from IIT. I am from MIT. That's an identity. Okay. And then the this particular this particular living entity, he gets married. Okay, oh, this is my wife, like, okay, she works for so and so, I work for so and so company. Okay, this is another identity. Okay, and then um, as the time passes by, in the young age we make all this identity, but as we start growing old, what happens is, in the flow, in the journey of life, we start experiencing things which are different from what we have experienced in the past. Okay, we start, there is a layoff, we lose the job, then our bodily function starts going down, we lose our near and dear ones. Okay, and then If we lose our near and dear ones, is it a trouble or not? It gives so much pain to the heart. We are in If we are trying to take care of someone, like, okay, in even within our family, if it could be in young and old life, like, okay, but if we see someone else in pain, it gives us a lot of trouble. Why does it give us trouble? Because we are attached. If someone speaks to us harshly, our it gives us trouble. Why does it gives? Because we are very attached. Like, okay, how could this person tell me something like this? So, and think about it. There is think about it. Like, okay, if we are so attached, there is one instance that comes to my mind. Like, okay, and this is a true incident. One person, like, okay, he goes to a doctor. He says, okay, doctor, see, I have something going on in my fingers. Like, okay, why is something is troubling me? Can you see what is going on? And then doctor sees it and says, when he tests it, he says, oh, this is a really problematic thing. It's cancerous. You have to amputate your finger. And he says, oh, what? Amputate my finger? Then he says, okay, array, my friends, like, he's a young guy. He says, okay, what will my friends think if I amputate my finger? Let me check a new doctor. Another doctor, he goes, third doctor, fourth doctor, everyone says the same thing. So he's going from doctor to doctor. He doesn't do anything about it. It it so happens 6 months pass by, okay, and he's still visiting doctors. By this time, the infection has grown. It has reached, earlier it was just finger, now it is like up to the wrist level it has reached. So they come back and tell him that doctors tell him that, okay, you have to now amputate till the wrist because the disease infection is growing. he he's still not convinced. He says, "Arey, what will my friends say? That, okay, I lost this hand." Okay, so then let me. He tries few more doctors. They say, okay, you have to cut till here. Actually, now he gets very worried. Then he thinks, okay, let me go to America now, and he comes to America actually. So when he's when he visits the American doctors, they also say the same thing to him. Like, okay, Arey, you have to get it. And then the American doctors explain that, boss, you have already wasted so much time. It started from your finger, this disease spread. Now if you don't do it, you lose it. Then he thinks that, okay, what will people think about me? Arey, ye haath kata, ye say, like this amputated hand. Now think about it just for a moment. I want to ask this, like, okay, if any of our finger goes, will that trouble us? How many of you think that, okay, it will trouble us? Be honest, like, okay, do you think it will trouble? Okay, thank you. uh, so see, just a finger. We all want a healthy body, absolutely full. Like, okay, we want everything, right? That is, we all want the complete package to be right. So that tells us how much we are attached to this body as such. Now think about it. We have to leave this body at any point of time. How are we preparing for that? So, which is where I I was coming to the point that, okay, we have so much attachment to our near and dear ones. So, and we are so much attached to our body. We have to leave this. We have to leave our body. We have to leave our house, because if something happens to the house, oh, get it painted. Oh, this thing happened. This that. Like, all right. So we are so much attached to our house. We are so much attached to our near and dear ones. We are so much attached to our own body. But we have to become detached. How can we become so much detached? The real detachment can come when we become more attached to Krishna. Okay. So, and the detachment does not mean that, okay, chodo ghar bar chalo Haridwar. That does not mean. Mahaprabhu has given a very, very simple formula. Very simple formula. And what is that? That is grihe thako, bone thako, shada hari bole dako. Wherever you are, whether you're in house, you're in jungle, always chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So if we are chanting, like, okay, if we are chanting very sincerely, like, okay, to come to regularly when we are doing our activities, if we understand that, okay, we are doing this for Krishna, we want to serve Krishna in a way that it pleases them. Okay, if we are if our life is revolving around pleasing Krishna in whatever capacity we can. See, initially when we try to please Krishna, it could be by chanting of the holy name. It could be by making a uh, flower offering to Krishna at his lotus feet. It could be by making a simple tulsi leaf offering at the lotus feet of Krishna. See, offering one tulsi leaf at Krishna's lotus feet would take hardly 30 seconds, but this is very pleasing to Krishna. Offering a flower at the lotus feet of Krishna is very, very simple ordeal. It just takes like, okay, whatever time it takes to get the flower with our groceries, plus offering it takes like 1 minute. And when we offer, we just say, Krishna, what can I offer you? I've brought this out of love for you. Okay, offering, making an offering of um, any bhoga, whatever we eat at home, like, okay, we have a separate plates for Krishna, and on that, like, okay, if we just offer, like, okay, and say, Krishna, this is what I have brought for you. When we do bhoga, when we offer bhoga to Krishna, just very simple. If we want to keep it very simple, just chant 5 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Just let Krishna have. If it is a separate room where you have your, it could be a picture of Krishna, like, okay, where you are making that offering. You can say, Krishna, please accept it, and that's it. Like, okay, give 10 minutes for Krishna to have it while you are not around, and then come back and collect that. And when we collect it, it is called prasad. Prasad means mercy. Mercy means that which we do not deserve. We are getting the blessings. Okay, that prasad is like we can understand. Krishna accepts it. He says, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prachati. Patram pushpam means leaf, flower, fruit, and water. You can offer me. Fruit means like vegetables also. So you can offer this to me. If you offer this to me with love, then I'll accept it. He says, with love, if you give, then I'll accept it. Very, very simple to please Krishna. So, but it is very, very essential that we understand that we are in this emergency condition of the world. At any point of time, the our conditions are bound to change. And if we do not take it seriously, then in that case, we don't know what our next situation will be, how much we will be able to focus into taking the holy name. I want to end this by telling one final story from the Srimad Bhagavatam. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, there is in the um, there is a very beautiful story of Gajendra, who is the king of the elephants. And I would request you to hear this very carefully, because this story is a very, very, uh, if you hear this, it will give you a lot, it will increase your faith and your conviction on like, okay, how Krishna reciprocates. So Gajendra, he's he's the king of elephant, very, very powerful. He has um, whenever he goes, like he goes with his troop. He has uh, many queens, so many she elephants are with him. So and he's very uh, respected, very prestigious among his elephant class of people, or whatever elephant class. So Gajendra is very well known, and so once he was going, and they all the elephants, they come to uh, a lake, and they come to this lake, and they are just getting into the lake to have their bath. They when we take our bath, what do? We just check, right, if the water temperature is right. So the water temperature is perfect actually, and they are getting into this water slowly by slowly, steadily. All Gajendra is there with his family, his all queens. They're all having very nice time, like, okay, showering water on each other. Very wonderful time. And um, and the kids are enjoying, and the Gajendra is enjoying, all the other elephants are enjoying. It's the most happiest party, gaga time, like, okay, very wonderful, like, okay. The the best that you can expect. Okay, in the very natural, scenic. Okay, temperature is perfect outside. Temperature in the water is perfect, and this is the best possible environment that you can visualize. And in this time, what Maya does is, okay, in the most unexpected moment, the most difficult times can come. And just at that time, as Gajendra was taking bath, out of nowhere comes a crocodile and catches his feet. The Gajendra's feet is caught, and like Gajendra is like trying to free his feet. He has no clue what has happened. So he's trying with all his might to free his feet. And now Gajendra is the king of the elephant. He's very powerful, but his power is in the land. And now where is he? He is in the water. And the crocodile is very powerful in water. So no matter how much Gajendra is trying, crocodile has caught it very tightly. So sometimes it so happens that okay, we are also uh, so this is like okay when sometimes like okay, we think that okay, we are caught in a situation. What is our next action? We are trying to save ourselves from that situation. We are trying to find a solution to that problem as quickly as possible. Okay, so we try every possible means. So Kajendra tries everything. He's screaming and he's shouting, and like what he see, and the scriptures say that okay, this fight between them, like, okay, this is in a different yoga, and at that point of time this fight ensued between the crocodile and Gajendra for 1,000 years actually. And at that time, like, okay, everyone had more lifespan, and this as this was going on, like, okay, Gajendra was trying to free, and his family members are trying to save him. How do you know how they are trying to take the they are trying to pull the tail of Gajendra, and that is how they are trying to save him. So now by pulling the tail, can you really save an elephant? You cannot save an elephant. So Gajendra, like, okay, he's getting pulled by the crocodile on the other side, and his family members who are trying to save him, but it is giving it more pain actually by pulling the tail. And during that time, Gajendra is screaming like anything. He understands that okay, these family members, like these friends, they can't do anything for me. And then uh, Gajendra, like, okay, he also has a in his previous life he was a devotee actually. He was a he was a king actually. He was King Indradumna. Somehow he had fallen into this in this. He could not complete his devotion at that time, and he landed up being an elephant due to a curse that he received. And now, as Gajendra in the animal body at that time, he was when he was really struggling. It comes to his mind that okay, he can the past consciousness by Krishna's mercy comes to his mind. He understands that he was a devotee in his past birth. And Gajendra, even though he's in the elephant body, he picks up a lotus flower and he starts making prayers, offering prayers to Krishna. And those prayers are there in Srimad Bhagavatam with the prayers called Gajendra Moksha prayers. And when he cries out with those prayers, okay, when he's crying out with those prayers, at that time, Lord Krishna, he comes in his Vahan, and he first thing that he does is he kills that crocodile, and then he is so pleased with Gajendra that he's remembering Krishna at this most urgent time. Okay, so then Krishna takes Gajendra, okay, back to his back to his planet, okay, his uh, back to his planet, okay, to the spiritual world. But through this, okay, the Bhagavad Gita, it says that okay, that there is a. I'm just trying to remember that particular shloka in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. I'm just seeing what is that shloka. It is the shloka is there. Antakale cha mamema sparan muktva kalevaram. So at the यह प्रायति च मद भावाम Yati nasti yatra samshaya. The translation leads that, okay, whoever at the end of his life quits his body, remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this, there is no doubt. So, so Gajendra, at the last moment of his life, okay, he's able to remember um, Krishna, okay, and he becomes fortunate. But we are seeing that, okay, we are in this, and that is because like he had practiced in his previous life very, he tried to practice very sincerely. So even though he was in this curse, but Krishna is very merciful. But we are in this very dangerous world. That was not even Kali Yuga. We are in Kali Yuga advancing like anything. And in this world, okay, right now things are changing, like, okay, situation is changing every moment. And if we are able to take shelter of Krishna sincerely, then our life will be transformed, like, okay. We don't have to really worry about this birth, death, old age, and disease, like, okay. We have to understand that we are spirit souls, like, okay. If as spirit souls, if as one changes, like, okay, the different uh, as one changes clothes daily, so similarly the soul also changes bodies, like, okay. But if we are able to take Krishna consciousness seriously, then the soul, like, at the end of the life, they get spiritual birth. We don't have to really worry about like where exactly Kali Yuga is progressing. But if we take shelter of Bhagavatam, if we are hearing constantly from the right source, if we are chanting, if we are taking shelter of Tulsi Maharani, if we are daily trying to do this simple thing of bathing in Ganga water, how do we do that? By 3 times saying Ganga, Ganga, Ganga. Just by doing that, we are taking shelter of Mother Ganga. What does Mother Ganga shelter do? It washes off all our sins of the past if we do it with faith. Now, but then why do we have all these other tendencies? Because our tendency of doing sinful activities does not stop. So that is why we have to understand Bhagavad Gita so that we understand what is right and what is wrong. As we keep hearing, as with our knowledge in the intelligence, our intelligence will be able to help our mind focus on Krishna more. So, with that, I would end here. And if there are any questions or comments, we can take that. And I'm very, very grateful for all your association. Let us try. And I'm just saying for myself that, okay, let us try, like, okay, so that we don't become complacent in our this journey. We are able to take Krishna consciousness very, very sincerely. If we take it very sincerely, see, because we are ultimately we are all trying to serve someone or the other. It could be our bosses, but let's try to serve the greatest boss. Then we don't have to worry about the intermediate ones. Then we'll be happy, blissful, undoubtedly. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Hare Krishna. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Krishna Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. So anyone has any questions or any comments, then we can take that, or else we can close it here. Anyone? Hare Krishna.
No
Okay,
questions from me,
no
Prabhuji.
questions.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
No questions from me as well, Prabhuji, but I think it was very relatable.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you to everyone, and wishing you all a very wonderful week. Let us try to stay absorbed in Krishna consciousness. And most importantly, I also want to tell one thing, that if somehow or other, if you are stuck in a situation where you are thinking that, okay, how do I do in my situation Krishna consciousness, please reach out if there is any way I can be of service. Okay, we all can do Krishna conscious, we all can participate in Krishna consciousness in some way or other. Okay, if 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 in any situation, if anyone is stuck, there is something that can be done, there is something or the other. We all see, all the 5 fingers are not same. So Krishna has made us like this, versatile like this, so that, like, okay, we can contribute in different ways in Krishna consciousness. But by just trying to participate in in our menial ways, we can see a difference in our life. We can see a difference in our surroundings. And this is, it's an experiential science. Okay, as we get absorbed, we'll be able to experience this. There is absolutely no doubt about it. Hare Krishna. Please take care. My sincere prayers for you and your family, very much at the lotus feet of Shishi Radha Kunjaveri, most merciful Shishi Radha Kunjaveri, Shishi um, Adosha Darshit Jagannath Baladev Shubhadrama, and Shishi Patita Pavan Gaur Nitai, Gaur Nitai. And if I misspoke anything, then please forgive me as your humble servant, and I sincerely request for your blessings as well. And once again, I want to wish everyone a happy Mother's Day. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. My mother is also here, so I offer my pranams to her. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.